Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and finally I get to say welcome back to RaceRoom. It's been several weeks now since I last brought you a RaceRoom video, and that's not because I've not been in the sim much, far from it. It's because there's been some really frustrating bugs, mainly centered around the HUD and what displays on the screen. It's made video editing really difficult, but I've got lucky today. I've recorded this race and the HUD has behaved itself. We've entered the GT3 class at Brands Hatch and we've managed to put it on the second row of the grid, qualifying in third with a lap time of 1:26.3. But unfortunately only 12 drivers have entered this race, which is really disappointing for the GT3 class, traditionally one of RaceRoom's most popular series. But the fact that we can only get a dozen entrants for a race at peak time on a Tuesday evening does suggest that perhaps RaceRoom is just spreading its player base just a little bit too thinly with the increasing number of races it's hosting and its ranked schedule. Anyway, we're not going to let that worry us now because we're strong contenders for a podium here. Let's see how we go. RaceRoom has enabled the jump starts on their ranked service. We've got to be extra careful not to be too hasty. We did get away okay, but then we shifted up to second far too early. That's cost us all our momentum. The Vodafone McLaren of Heinrich Taylor has gone past us. He's moved to the outside, but he's going to lose it into Paddock Hill Bend. He's out onto the gravel. We had to lift off the gas there. We were in danger of going with him, so we have lost another position. We're down to fourth into Druid's hairpin. Soak, the pole position man, is out in front, but that's no surprise. He was more than a second quicker than any other driver during qualifying, so he's likely to run away with this, but the battle for second is well and truly on. I think we've got the pace to do it, but standing in our way is Matthias Lindner and Tizzy Diorco. So it's absolutely vital that we stick with these two guys in front of us. We want to be a part of this podium battle. Now, I have noticed some flickering out front. I wonder if Soak, the leader, has some connection problems because his car is looking very jittery. That's going to be one to keep an eye on. In fact, he's gone. The alert's just popped up. Soak has left the game, so clearly having some ping issues. So now this race is wide open. We've moved up to third. Oh, Diorco gets it all wrong going through Westfield. He was all over the place there. We had to react quickly not to tag him, but we've got past into second place. But did Diorco save it? It looks like he did. He's still behind us in third, but he's more than a second back. So we've got a little bit of breathing room now and we can start our pursuit of the new race leader. But yeah, what a twist, the exit of Soak after just half a lap here at Brands Hatch. With him on the track, there was only ever going to be one winner, but now it's anyone's. Lindner out front has opened up a little bit of a gap as we start lap 2, but I'm not too worried about that. I think I've got the pace to reel him in, and yeah, it looks like we're a lot quicker through Paddock Hill Bend. But we're still early in the race, so let's not rush anything. Let's just take our time here. Before we get back to the battle with Lindner, let's just go back and check our replay of the start. And yeah, what a disastrous one it was for us. Shifted up to second far too early. It bogged the BMW down. Taylor got his McLaren in front, but then ran it in too hot. That's him sliding out into the gravel trap there. And because of our wide line, we're going to drop down to fourth position at this point. And here's another angle of Taylor's spin. Yeah, just carrying way too much speed into Paddock Hill, and as the track drops, there's no grip for him. And speaking of grip, Diorco certainly couldn't find any of it through Westfield. Look at that rear step out there. He did well to save it actually, but that allowed us to go around the outside and move into second position. Back to the live action now, the start of lap 3, and the two of us out front have managed to stretch a little bit of an advantage. There's a gap of 3 seconds back to Alessandro Santias in third. Now, I'm still feeling quicker than Lindner through Paddock Hill and on the approach up to Druid, so I do just have a look up the inside. We're not close enough to make it there, but that is looking like the part of the track where I could really make a move for the lead of this race. Because for the rest of the lap, we seem to be fairly evenly matched. I'm certainly not getting any closer to Lindner here. So for now, the game plan has to be just to stay within striking distance. We can stick with Lindner through the course of this lap, and then when we get to Paddock Hill Bend, we can try and use our speed advantage to get up the inside and make the pass into Druids. That's the plan anyway. But I am also going to keep one eye on Santias in third. And in fact, let's open up the TV cam and ride on board with Santias because he is starting to close the gap and he's got a fairly high rating. So he's clearly a very quick driver. And in fact, he started at the back of the grid. So he's done exceptionally well to fight his way through to third already. So he is going to be pushing. And in fact, yeah, he can see the two of us out front as we go through Sterling's. But look, he's going to lose control into Sterling's and he's going to spin into the barrier. So having lost Soak on lap 1, we've now lost the only other serious threat in this race. It's now purely a 2-car battle for the lead, and we're right on the rear spoiler of Lindner as we charge down the start-finish straight. We spoke about the game plan on the previous lap, and I think we're perfectly positioned to give this a go now. We try a wide entrance into Paddock Hill. That'll hopefully give us the speed to get up the inside and make that line our own, but it doesn't. And there's contact. Lindner is in no mood to give up the lead of this race. Thankfully, the contact was minimal. We were both able to stay facing in the right direction, but yeah, this is getting close. Well, before we check out the replay of that pass attempt, let's just see Santius' spin. He actually clipped the grass on the outside on the entrance into Sterling's, and that's what caused him to lose control. And this is such a difficult corner to rejoin safely. It's a blind corner, you can't see what's coming. He tries to make a move for it there, and as you can see, he causes more chaos. And speaking of chaos, I think we were lucky to avoid it in Paddock Hill Bend. The plan was working to perfection up until then. We deliberately took a wider line on the approach to Paddock Hill Bend just so we could get the car turned earlier and on the gas quicker. At this point, I thought I'd done enough, but no. Lindner turns in to defend the line, and as you can see, the contact is the front of my car and the rear of his, which suggests that I wasn't as far ahead as I thought I was. So yeah, that contact was on me, but thankfully we both survived. Back to the live action, and we're still right on Lindner's tail, but we just can't do anything about getting alongside him throughout the rest of this lap. So I think we're going to have to stick with plan A. Oh, we do get really close on the entrance into Sterling's there, perhaps a little too close. That might have rattled him a little bit, but he's able to get on the gas just a little bit quicker because of that. So we've lost a couple of tenths there into clearways. And fair play to Lindner here. I've been on his case for the best part of half the race now, but he's not batted an eyelid. He hasn't made one mistake. So as we approach Paddock Hill, can we pull the same move again? Chances are he'll be expecting us, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him defend here, but he isn't. He's still out wide, so let's go for it again. This time, we've got to be in no doubt. We've got to make that apex first, and we have done. Again, there was a little bit of contact, but because we were just that bit further forward this time, we were able to make that line our own, and we've held the position. We are now leading this race. But the job certainly isn't done, because Lindner may have a bite back up the inside here. He's thinking about it. Thankfully, we've just got enough of an advantage. And we've also got a much better line out of Surtees, so that is going to help us make a break for it. So if at first you don't succeed, try again, and that's exactly what we did. We stuck with plan A. We pulled exactly the same move, only this time we made sure we were far enough ahead to claim that inside line when the inevitable contact occurred. A firm move, but a fair one. And so that pass proved to be the decisive point of the race, because we were able to gap Lindner over the next lap or two. We opened up an advantage of a couple of seconds, and from then on we were cruising. Because of the smaller grid, we didn't come across any back markers, so we're able to put in 3 or 4 really solid laps, and we're rejoining the live action on the final corner of the race. The checkered flag is out, and we're going to take a rare race victory. Lindner is 4.2 seconds back. He's going to take second place, and Santias recovered from that spin in the early going to take third position. But yeah, there we are, top of the podium. It doesn't happen very often on CR Sim Racing, but it has today. Of course, I'm not going to get too carried away with this victory. It was a very small grid with a fairly low strength of field, and of course, had we not lost Soak on lap 1 due to that disconnect, it would have been an entirely different outcome. We would have been second at best. However, a look at the lap time suggests that we did improve significantly throughout the course of that race. Our fastest lap of 1:25.3 was a whole second quicker than our qualifying time. It was still a few tenths shy of Soak's pole position time, but maybe, just maybe, we could have given him a run for his money. Well, that's it from RaceRoom for now. Hopefully it won't be as long until the next RaceRoom video, but of course that all depends on whether the various in-game bugs can get fixed. I got lucky here, the HUD behaved itself perfectly. However, I did this same race again an hour later, and it was beset with problems. The timings were all over the place. But fingers crossed we'll be back in RaceRoom soon, hopefully on a bigger grid. But in the meantime, if you've enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and consider subscribing if you haven't done already. Thanks for watching. Cheers.